My name is Patricia Jackson Pettis. Should I say Patricia Pettis Jackson? Uh,
Where are you from?
where am I from? Originally from Scott, Arkansas. I was born and raised at Scott, Arkansas. A little town. Uh, you know where it is, Freeman. I can't get South. Anyway, but it's in the rural. And I grew up with 8 sisters and 9 brothers. It was 9 girls and 9 boys. And we lived on the farm and we worked on the farm. We sharecropped. And we would pick 2 bales of cotton a day and go to the gin. But I loved every bit of it. I know what love is all about, and I know what life is all about. We raised all of our food, our meats, our vegetables, and our meats. And that's how we made it. Milked our own cows. That was a good life.
How did you get to Higgins?
How did I get to Higgins? I moved to Little, as I came into adulthood, and I went to college, I went to school, and I started to work, and then I met a young man by the name of Patricia Jackson, Sr., and I got married. So, when we got married and we had children, as we had children, there were some places at the time in Little Rock where they would rent to you if you didn't have children. But if you had children, it was hard for you to find a place to stay. So it got to be a problem for me because I had children, I loved children, and at the time I had 2 children. So I couldn't hardly find a place to rent. They would tell me, we can rent it to you, but if you didn't have children, as I was telling me, you need to get rid of your children or you need to give them away.
Hold on. Yeah. Turn on. Where if you had children,
They wouldn't
rent to you. So if you got rid of your children by somehow, they would allow you to rent.
Sort of speaking, this is what they was giving you the impression of. But what they were really saying, we can't rent to you. We don't want to rent to you because you have children. And if you have children, you might tear up my house, tear up the property, destroy the property. So then I had to start venturing out, trying to find other resources and other places that would rent to me along with having my children. So that's how I migrated out here to Higgins. Had a missionary that belonged to our church. And she had property out here. And she told me that we could rent our house, rent to buy. And if we keep that up, then the house would belong to us. And that's how I ended up out here in Higgins.
So, tell us something about Higgins, or what we call Southeast Pulaski County.
Southeast Pulaski County, it covers 5 communities. College Station, Sweet Home, Higgins, and there used to be a little place by the name of Tafton, but they incorporated that into Riceville, so it's considered Riceville, and then Woodson and Hensley, and that's considered to be in Southeast Pulaski County. And what is Red Oak? Red Oak is really considered as Higgins, but they still say that it's Red Oak, but it's really considered as being in the Higgins community. People live at least 5, 3 to 10 miles apart.
Okay. Tell us, how did We Care get started? What was here before We Care, and how did you move into it?
What was here, the Higgins Community Center was here, but the building was not being utilized. It wasn't being used because we didn't have any staff here. At the time, it was built because it was having meetings. The community itself raised money, and they bought this property along with donations and things of that sort. So they built this building right here. It used to be a barn, and they tore the barn down and they built this building. Even when they built the building, we still didn't have activities here. A young man by the name of James Brown, most people call him Sonny Brown, and his mom, Maybelline Brown, and then there was the Coonies, there was the Cunninghams, there was the Lewises. It was a whole lot, long name of list of people who in the community combined forces and worked together and made this happen. Then later on, when I moved out here, and as I moved out here, found out that the people were having to go to Little Rock to get their commodities or their medications and things of that sort. So we wanted to do something about it. And about that time, Christ the King Church was interested in what was happening out here.
Christ the King is the
Catholic Church.
Catholic Church.
Out in Pleasant Valley.
Yeah.
They saw the need through what we were doing, and as they found out about where we were, what we were doing, and what we was trying to do, so they wanted to help. So a young man by the name of Henry Tuck, he's retired now, retired FBI agent. He wanted to move from where he was as a volunteering and helping because he felt like he had accomplished his goal, but he wanted to help somewhere else. So I was at a meeting that asked me to speak at for Christmas to tell who I was and where we were located. And he was asking a lot of questions because he wanted to know more about where we were, We Care, Higgins, and this where we out in southeast Pulaski County. So it sparked a desire in him, and he felt the need. So he chose to come out here and work with us to help us establish We Care at the time, and it wasn't called We Care at that particular time because we met with our board, elected officers, and we had 3 or 4 names we could choose from as to what the agency would be named. We was incorporated, getting together. So we chose the name We Care. We all chose that name, We Care, because we really that's what we really was about, caring. We cared about the community. We cared about the people. We cared about what was going on. We cared about the children, you know. So we had everything at heart. So that meant we really did care. So that was a catchy name, and that's what we chose. So that's how We Care come about.